Hi, my name is Lisa Richter, Director of Industry Outreach and Growth for CSIA. Welcome to the Masterclass. Before we get started, a quick word about CSIA. Probably most of you here today are familiar with the association, but if you are not, all you really need to know is that CSIA's mission is to help SIs build better businesses. How do we do that? Well, for starters, we have a team of volunteer SIs who have crowdsourced a best practices manual to help SIs scale their businesses. CSIA also offers a certification program and many other resources and benefits, including professional development, learning from your peers, and access to professional services experts, including insurance, financial, and legal, who understand the SI's unique business needs. For partner members, CSIA offers an ecosystem to grow your SI programs, understand your customers' pain points, monitor industry trends, and share your thought leadership. With thousands of qualified integrators and suppliers, the CSIA Industrial Automation Exchange helps SIs, industry suppliers, and manufacturers connect and do business. For SIs and partners, it provides a platform to support your content and SEO marketing efforts, position yourself as a thought leader, and nurture prospects during their complicated buyer's journey. If you are not currently a member, now is a great time to join. Membership provides you and your entire team a full lineup of virtual events and other resources, from accounting to sales to operations, 365 days per year. Plus, being a CSIA member means you get special pricing for the CSIA Executive Conference in addition to other resources. You are currently a member, thank you. Membership renewals are currently underway. If you are the primary or billing contact, you should receive notifications via email. If you have not, please check your spam filter. I'm noticing a lot of legit email is getting diverted into the spam folder. If you have any questions about the renewal process, contact staff. One last housekeeping note before I turn it over to today's speakers. If you have any questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom. That helps us stay organized. You're more than welcome to chat amongst yourselves in the chat thing, but if you do have a question, please use the Q&A feature. It just helps us keep we don't have to monitor two different spots to try and capture all that information. And the session will be recorded, and you will get a link to the recording in the next day or so. At this time, I would like to turn it over to today's speakers. Take it away, guys.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Well, hello, and thank you for joining us for today's CSIA Masterclass, Tips on Creating Digitized Data Centers and Smart Buildings Using Edge Computing Platforms. We're very glad you joined us, and we hope you're going to learn a lot today from the panel discussion. I'm Rudy Deonda with Stratus Technologies. I'm going to be your moderator today, and joining me are Abhishek Srivastava from Schneider Electric. He's a BMS Eco Expert Program Leader and a BMS expert. Also, Duncan Cook, Stratus Edge Computing Expert with over 30 years of experience with operations and BMS systems. So thank you both for joining me today. For those who are unfamiliar with Schneider's BMS offering or Stratus Technologies, we'll start with a quick overview. With that, Abhishek, can you tell us a bit about Schneider Electric and how some of the customers are using your BMS solutions?
Sure, Rudy. First of all, thanks for inviting me to this master class. I'm really delighted to be part of this master class. At Schneider Electric, our purpose is to empower all to make the most of our energy and resources, bridging progress and sustainability for all. Our mission is to be digital partners for sustainability and efficiency for our customers. We are a technology company providing energy and automation digital solutions for efficiency and sustainability for our customers around the world. We are a 34 billion euro revenue company with almost 130,000 employees in over 100 plus countries. We have two key businesses, energy management and industrial automation. We are a balanced company in terms of our end market and geographies. We serve customers in 4 end markets: building, data center, industry, and infrastructure. Can you move to next slide, Rudy?
Absolutely.
So this is our EcoStruxure platform. We always divide our offers, solutions, software in this EcoStruxure architecture. EcoStruxure is a foundational technology backbone on which Schneider Electric solutions are built and delivered, connecting almost everything in your enterprise from shop floor to the top floor, collecting critical data from sensors, to the cloud and analyzing it to discover meaningful and actionable insights. EcoStruxure is Schneider Electric IoT enabled, plug and play, open, interoperable architecture and platform for homes, building, data centers, infrastructures, and industries. There is innovation at every level, from connected product to the edge control and apps, analytics, and services. In EcoStruxure building platform, you can see at the connected product level, which is the lowest level, we have wide range of connected product offers ranging from BMS controllers, field devices, lighting control offers, access control, fire detection, VFD, and even metering. At edge control level, this is our software layer. We have softwares like EBO, EcoStruxure building operation, which is used for BMS, then security expert, which is used for access control, and fire expert, which is used for fire detection system. This software collects the data from the connected product and present to the end user or facility manager in desired format. Apps, analytics, and services, which is the top layer. The offers which are at this layer help user to get the meaningful and actionable insight out of all the data collected through the connected product. This helps user to increase building performance, efficiency, reliability, and its occupants' comfort.
Very good. Thank you, Abhishek. And Duncan, can you give us a quick overview of Stratus?
Sure, thank you, Rudy, and good afternoon from the UK. So for more than 40 years, Stratus has provided high availability and fault-tolerant computing to Fortune 500 companies and small to medium-sized businesses, enabling them to secure and remotely run mission-critical applications without downtime at both the data center and the edge, turning that data into actionable intelligence. With something like 4,000 active customers globally, managing over 11,000 deployed systems, Stratus underpins a significant number of business-critical operations, from credit card companies to oil and gas operators, from utility companies to retail and food and beverage manufacturers. Our solutions are delivered hand in hand with a network of strategic partners who trust us to help unlock the potential for digital transformation. And I'm sure there'll be more on how to be part of that partner network from Rudy a little later on. And finally, Stratus is an SGH company now, acquired in 2022, and operates within SGH's Intelligent Platform Solutions business.
Thank you.
Back to you, Rudy.
So our agenda today is divided into 3 parts. First, we're going to do a quick definition of what edge computing means and where and how it compares to the Purdue model that we typically use in automation and control. Second, we'll then dive into how digitizing your siloed operations allows you to use your own data to take advantage of Industry 4.0 trends. And finally, we'll summarize the session and go straight to Q&A. As a reminder, please submit all your questions in the question panel, and we will answer them at the end of the session. So let's go straight into the first part of the panel discussion, where I'll provide the definition of edge computing so everyone's on the same page. Most of us are very familiar with the Purdue model, which you see on the right side of your screen. As you know, the Purdue model does a great job of explaining how manufacturers can leverage data from all their distributed assets and create their own industrial IoT models. A good way to look at the Gartner model, which is on the left, is as the edge version of the Purdue model for industrial control systems. A key difference that I will challenge listeners to explore today is that the Gartner model on the left accounts for combining multiple IIoT Purdue models deployed side by side. This combination is what allows manufacturers to take advantage of Industry 4.0 benefits. According to Gartner, edge computing is part of a distributed computing topology where information processing is located close to the edge, which is the physical location where things and people connect with the digital world. Edge computing includes the device edge, where you'll find the programmable logic controllers and distributed control systems that provide the bulk of all control and automation. The gateway edge, which provides communication and access from control to the next level, which is the compute edge. The compute edge houses the computer platforms and servers that make up the frontline monitoring and control systems. The next level is the local data center. This is where you'll find your data collection and plant control room, HMI, SCADA systems. The final tier within edge computing is the regional data center. The regional data center is the central hub that manages multiple sites, plants, and command centers. There are many different definitions to the edge, but any one of those could be part of your edge. And above that is the cloud. So as you can see, the scope of edge computing involves a majority of where most of the monitoring and control of a plant or facility takes place, or the management of multiple plants or facilities. In the Gartner model, any of these locations can co-host your varying control stack, for example, SCADA, BMS, MES, ERP, and much more, all within a single data center. So today we're going to compare architectures from that go from multiple computers for HMI, SCADA, historian, advanced applications in engineering, with no downtime and that are very siloed and difficult to maintain, to single device consolidation for all your software solutions with built-in redundancy, dynamic edge to enterprise and cloud solutions with remote control using mobile devices. We'll begin. Abhishek, can you go over some of the characteristics of a multiple siloed architecture? And can you also compare it with a fully integrated solution?
For sure, Rudy. In a multiple siloed architecture, you can see on the left-hand side, different system and application operate independently of each other, resulting in isolated data silos. Each system is designed to fulfill a specific task or a function. Access control devices connect to a access control server, fire detection devices connect to a fire detection server, like so on. And all these devices are not integrated with each other, or there is no communication between them. This can create a challenge in managing and analyzing data, as it may require manual intervention to transfer information between systems. On the right-hand side, in contrast to a siloed architecture, this is a fully integrated solution in building management system, which involves the integration of various systems, services, and application into single centralized platform. This allows for more streamlined data management and analysis, as information can be easily shared and accessed across the entire system. With a fully integrated system, building management team can monitor and control various building systems such as HVAC, lighting, and security from a single platform or a single glass of pane, and provide better analysis category.
Now, Duncan, can you please explain the characteristics of an architecture based on edge computing and why system integrators should consider switching from multiple silos to an integrated solution?
Okay, ready? Yeah, sure. The process involved in switching from traditional to edge-based compute solutions, in theory, is simple and straightforward. You replace all your existing computers and servers in your traditional architecture with a single edge-based system. So what happens when you do just that? You replace your computers and servers with an edge-based solution. Well, firstly, with an edge-based computing platform, unlike commercial servers, perhaps, you have a no compromise, simple, secure, and autonomous compute solution that is typically UL Class 1 Division 2 certified. Such devices are designed to be deployed in industrial environments, typically in the same control panel as your UPS, your DCS, and your PLCs, which makes life a lot simpler in terms of deployment. Secondly, deployment is typically in a virtualized environment. With virtualization, you can consolidate your software applications together. Your HMI, your SCADA software can be deployed with other applications such as historian, MES, batch, asset performance, BMS, and security, all onto a single device platform. Applications that would have otherwise, as Abhishek said, would have been installed in siloed and multiple computers and servers. The other consideration is protection. One thing edge computing does give us is the protection from outside attack, whether it be cyber or otherwise. Most edge computing platforms are designed with built-in security and capabilities. And finally, the core to it all for us really is the redundancy and downtime prevention. There are many ways to provide resilience to your system design, such as high availability clustering, for example, which we see quite widely. But one of the best and simplest ways to use an edge compute device is to use that edge device if it has built-in resilience capabilities from the outset.
Great, thank you, Duncan. So Abhishek, here what we're showing is a combined architecture that shows what we've been talking about, which is a consolidation into a single edge device platform, no matter where that falls within your Gartner model, that consolidates possibly HMI server, historian, your BMS, safety, engineering, etc. Can you describe this architecture for us, Abhishek?
Sure, Rudy. This architecture, which you can see on the screen, is a centralized system that integrates and manages multiple building systems, application and services such as HVAC, sensors, motors, lighting, security, fire protection, access control, and energy management in a single unified platform. This IBMS architecture uses sensors, controllers, and software to monitor and control various building systems, allowing for more efficient and effective building management. This IBMS architecture typically includes a centralized server or database that collects data from various sensors and controllers. The data is then analyzed and processed by software applications that provide real-time information about the building performance, efficiency, and energy consumption. The system can also provide alerts and notification for the potential issues or faults in the building system, allowing for a quick response and resolution.
And Abhishek, what are the key advantages of this architecture?
One of the primary benefits of this architecture is ability to optimize building performance and energy efficiency. By integrating and analyzing data from multiple systems, IBMS can identify areas for improvement and adjust system settings to optimize energy consumption and reduce cost. Additionally, the centralized system allows for more streamlined management and maintenance of building systems, reduce the need for manual intervention, and improve overall operational efficiency. Overall, an integrated building management system architecture provides a comprehensive and effective approach to building management system, improving energy efficiency, reducing cost, and increasing operational efficiency.
And Duncan, you describe the key advantages of using edge computing platforms in this architecture, please.
Yeah, sure. Well, fundamentally, really, it's all about providing the compute and the associated data where it's needed, and perhaps more importantly, to those that actually need it. It's all about ensuring the platform is always available to those tasked with the operational management of the applications and the processes therein.
And Duncan, how does edge computing help in reducing latency and increasing bandwidth? And what does this do to a BMS solution?
So as I mentioned previously, it's all about the platform and the associated data and providing that where it's needed without having to revert to a wider and more complex compute infrastructure. This ensures that data is presented in the most efficient manner as close to real time as possible. And this can certainly be key in business critical situations where prompt response to an event or an incident may be key. Furthermore, localizing that compute resource has the benefit of reducing the wider enterprise-based network traffic, for example. Consider the amount of network bandwidth, for instance, taken up by things like HD video devices. It's quite significant. And by keeping that kind of network traffic isolated and at the edge, you can improve significantly the wider enterprise network efficiency.
That makes sense. And Duncan, can you also talk about workload consolidation and the ability for edge computing to integrate multiple solutions into a single platform? Can you talk about virtualization?
Yeah, of course. Logically and operationally, it makes sense to consolidate the multiple applications that make up the current generation of industrial automation and BMS solutions into a single platform. But these, as we know, are many and varied. And that's where virtualization comes into its own. The ability to present an edge-based computing resource to multiple applications in a manner which ensures they can all function independently in an environment tailored to their specific needs. Really, that is the game changer. Furthermore, using a single resilient edge compute resource removes the often seen siloed and multi-unit applications and deployments that Abhishek referred to. And such a consolidation then makes the return on investment much more attractive from a procurement perspective, because you're looking at reducing the total number of computers and servers you're deploying, in effect.
Makes sense. And Abhishek, to a BMS solution, what are the benefits of virtualization and workload consolidation?
Sure. There are a lot of benefits of virtualization and workload consolidation in BMS. And BMS can experience several benefits from these two, including increased efficiency. Virtualization and workload consolidation can help reduce hardware and software cost, leading to improved efficiency in the BMS. It enables the system to perform more tasks with fewer physical resources, leading to lower power consumption and maintenance cost. Second point is enhanced scalability. Virtualization allows for easy expansion of BMS, as the system can be scaled up or scaled down depending upon the demand. This can help to meet the changing requirement of a building without incurring additional hardware cost. Third point is improved system availability. Virtualization enables the creation of a highly available BMS by eliminating single points of failure. In case of hardware or software failure, the workload can be shifted to another virtual machine or server without interrupting the system's operation. Another point is streamlined management. Workload consolidation and virtualization enable easier management of the BMS by reducing the number of physical devices that need to be managed. And last is enhanced security. Virtualization can help to improve security by isolating different parts of BMS, ensuring that one compromised area does not affect the rest of the system. It can also make it easier to implement security policies and control across the system.
Great. And can you talk about the value of having redundant control in BMS and EMS in any specific applications?
So redundancy control is highly important for BMS and EMS application. Okay, they offer several benefits like improved system reliability. Redundant control enables the BMS or EMS to continue operating even in event of a failure of one of the control components. This improves system reliability and ensures that the system can continue to function even during critical situations. It helps you to reduce downtime. With a redundant solution, if one control component fails, the system can automatically switch over to a backup component, reducing system downtime and ensuring that operation can continue with minimal disruption. It helps you to increase availability. Redundant control provides increased system availability as it ensures that the BMS or EMS remains operational even in event of a failure, improving system uptime and reducing the likelihood of system failure. It also helps you to enhance safety. In an application where safety is critical, redundant control can provide an additional layer of protection. For example, in a building fire protection system, redundant control can ensure that the system continues to operate even in event of a component failure, protecting building occupants and assets. It also helps end user to improve their maintenance cost. With redundant control, maintenance can be performed on one control component while the other continues to operate the system.
Great. And Duncan, can you talk a little bit about resilience by design?
Sure. I mean, resilience by design is something that should be fundamental to your thinking when you're considering an edge computing solution. You're looking to deploy your compute in probably a localized or perhaps even a remote location. Therefore, resilience within your solution design is key. At the very least, you're providing your operational staff with peace of mind, knowing that your edge computing deployment is protected, it's available 24/7, 365, and ultimately, in the event of an incident of some sort, operational personnel are not dependent upon specialist IT resource that may not be readily available on site or have to be requested on demand.
And what about downtime prevention as opposed to downtime management?
Good question, Rudy. Yeah. Unplanned downtime, as we may all be aware, is the nemesis of any operational computing deployment. The impact, unfortunately, is often underplayed. It's not just the direct impact of losing your compute resource, for example, the reinstatement cost therein, the cost of lost production, the loss of critical data, and ultimately system interoperability. It's the indirect costs that can be the biggest impact. And not being able to deliver what you're contracted to deliver has potential for significant reputational loss. And that can influence such important things as shareholder value and the wider customer appeal and your reputation. For example, reputational loss is something that is really difficult to quantify, for example. But let's consider a recent example, shall we? You may recall the 6-hour outage experienced by Facebook in November 2021. According to Forbes, it's estimated that this reduced Meta's shareholder valuation by some 4.9%. That equates to the best part of $6 billion. So the old adage holds true, unfortunately, Rudy. Prevention is always better than cure, and it's a lot less expensive too.
That's right. And Duncan, how about Class 1 Div 2 certification on edge computing? Does it matter, and what value does it provide?
Yeah, good point, Rudy. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, the UL Class 1 Div 2 certification, such as that carried, for example, by the Stratus ZTT solutions, means that you have a system that is designed in such a way that they're capable of being deployed in what is in effect non-IT friendly environments, such as the conditions we find on plant floors and in control rooms, for example. It also means the compute can be deployed with or alongside the other primary control elements, such as IPCs and control panels. This has the added advantage of improving operational appeal and efficiency by making the whole installation process a lot simpler. And by definition, these units are invariably zero touch, for example, with no moving parts. And as a result, they're a lot easier to deploy and also a lot easier to maintain going forward.
Sure. And edge computing platforms can be less expensive to implement, operate, and maintain than traditional automation systems, making them a cheaper and repeatable solution for on-prem data center and BMS providers. So Abhishek, what can SIs do and implement to take care of project costs?
Question, Rudy. It's a project cost are a very big headache for our system integrator community, and there are several steps that a SI can take to manage project cost. So I'm going to share a few steps, not every. These steps are accurate project planning, effective change management processes can be put in place to manage scope changes effectively. They can also plan for efficient resource management. They need to manage their resources effectively for the project, including personnel and equipment. They need to be very careful in selecting the vendors. Ensure that the vendors selected are capable of providing the required services at a reasonable cost. They also need to manage their risk effectively. Like they can put risk management practices and processes in place to identify and mitigate potential risk that might arise during the project. And then they need to ensure regular communication between the stakeholders, including clients, vendor, so that everybody is being informed of the project progress and any changes that may affect costs.
And Abhishek, are there any tools that Schneider Electric or other vendors may provide to address these?
Yeah, there are a lot of tools which are available in the market to which can help system integrator to manage their project cost. Some of the examples are first one is a project management software. This is a widely accepted software between the system integrator community. SIs can use project management software that include feature for tracking project cost. This software may include budget tracking tools, expense tracking, and forecasting capabilities. They can also use time tracking software. So this software helps system integrator to track the time spent on various tasks and projects. They can also help you to identifying areas where cost can be reduced. They can also make use of cost estimation software before quoting for any project. Then they can also make use of financial management software, which include tools for managing project budgets, tracking expenses, and generating financial reports. Or last one could be procurement management software. This helps project manager or the system integrator to manage their sub-vendor contracts, purchase orders, and invoices. So these are the some tools which can be effectively used by system integrator to manage their project costs.
Great. And while on the subject of costs, one great way is standardization and repeatability. These help reduce the cost of project implementation. Duncan, how can edge computing help address this?
Yeah, quite right, Rudy. I mean, this is something that is of significant interest to most of the SIs I come across in my working life. And one of the primary benefits of the edge computing philosophy, if you like, simple, secure, autonomous, is the ability for such systems and their associated deployments to be repeatable. Standardizing the virtualization platform, for example, allows deployments to be duplicated by a simple standardized file export. So by using something like an OVA or an OVF format, we can capture the complete virtualized environment, including the OS, the applications, and all the associated data. This allows us quick and easy duplication to a similar platform for other deployments elsewhere, whether that be new lines, new facilities, or deployments in support of a wider disaster recovery policy, for example. And this can obviously significantly reduce installation time and the associated costs, which further adds to the appeal of edge computing as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Duncan. So let's summarize the key takeaways of our session today. Edge computing makes your solution better by providing the ability to consolidate siloed applications on multiple disparate systems, reliably run HMI SCADA software with other advanced applications, even enhancing the deployed application to become fully redundant with no re-engineering, capture, process, store, and protect large volumes of data, reduce risks and costs associated with unplanned application downtime, infrastructure management, and serviceability, make your cloud solutions perform better, meet demands of both IT and OT environment without the need for expensive IT resources in the field, deliver solutions with performance, scalability, reliability, and longevity for the current operations, yet provide headroom to support future requirements. Abhishek, what are your key takeaways?
My takeaways are edge computing unlocked benefits like enhanced efficiencies, minimized latency, improved security, increased uptime, and decreased cost.
Great. And Duncan, how about you?
For me, Rudy, it's that edge computing philosophy, that simple, secure, autonomous mindset, if you like, ensuring that your solution design is resilient and it serves the operational resource it's intended to support. That's the key for me.
Great, thank you. So before we wrap up and go to Q&A, I want to give a short description of the Stratus System Integrator program as well as the Schneider Electric one. So our SI program is complementary. It's a major part of the program. It really is enablement, making sure our partners are positioned for success, not just in deployment of solutions based on Stratus edge computing platforms, but also in helping them position their edge solutions during the sales process. Officially, there are 3 tiers. These are registered, certified, and endorsed. That said, there's a qualifying tier where an SI has enrolled in the program but has not yet completed any of the training requirements. As a qualifying SI, you'll have access to our web-based enablement materials within the partner portal, but you will not appear on the partner locator, nor will you be promoted and have use of the SI badges until you qualify and become registered. As an SI meets the basic criteria to be part of the program, they'll be promoted to registered and be eligible to appear on the partner locator, which incidentally is in development. As a registered SI, there will be several additional benefits that are available, including discounted demos. And as the SI works with us and develops their competency, they'll be able to progress to certified. At this level, you would commit additional resources to certification and have approved project implementations. So we've uploaded the SI program guide and partner enablement guide to the webinar, downloadable materials. So please feel free to take a look and come back to me with any questions to enroll. You can contact your local sales team or visit stratus.com to become a partner. And Abhishek?
Sure. Similar to Stratus, Schneider Electric also have an industry recognized and awarded partner program. We call it Eco Expert Partner Program. This partner program is worldwide network of Schneider Electric trained and certified partner companies who offer local expertise and support to deliver best-in-class automation and digital solution for efficiency and sustainability to our customers. There are total 11 competency certifications available in Eco Expert Partner Program. 3 competency certifications are around building and residential automation, which includes building automation, security, and home and small buildings. Again, 2 competency certifications around new energy landscape badges, which are microgrid and e-mobility. 6 competency certifications are around power distribution and management things. So we also offer 6 segment specialization around healthcare, hotels, real estate, data center, retail, life sciences. If you have any customer who belong to these segments, we'll train you and equip you with all the marketing collaterals, their technology journey, their buying pattern, each and everything. The Eco Expert Partner Program offers unique opportunity and benefits such as segment specialization and training, professional skill training path, extended warranties, partner relationship management system to track our partners' progress effectively, co-branding marketing initiatives, and access to Schneider Electric extensive solution portfolio. Over to you, Rudy.
Thank you. So we have some time allocated to Q&A. If you haven't yet, I invite you to please ask your questions right in the question pane of our webinar. So with that, Jay, do we have any questions for our panel?
Yeah, we actually have a few, and encourage everybody in the webinar to please send in your questions right now. So question number 1 for Abhishek. This webinar contains useful information. The question is, how do we get started with a project, and what do I need to do so I will not fail?
Okay. Very nice question, Jay. Thanks for asking. Starting a project can be a daunting task, but with the proper planning and preparation, you can increase your chances of success. Understanding the competency requirement is a basic requirement in any project. Then you need to assemble the project team. You need to develop the competency by enrolling in Schneider Electric or Stratus Partner Program, and will enable you to handle those kind of projects.
All right. Thanks, Abhishek. The next question is probably for Duncan. What should I do so I can execute a proof of concept to test the feasibility of my solution right now, and then be able to execute a scaled multi-phase project?
Okay, good question. So the key thing really, I'd say in answer to that question is talk to us. What we can do is we can sit down with you, understand what you're trying to achieve in terms of a solution and a deployment at the edge. We would typically then engage one or more of our solutions architects with your team to put together an architecture that addresses your requirements. We then go ahead and based on that criteria, we would probably look to lend you some equipment for a period, and we would do some monitoring against the criteria that we've defined hand in hand together there. And then from there, based on the results of that, we can do any fine tuning we need, and then Stratus and or Schneider Electric, for example, work alongside you as the integrator to make sure we deliver that with you in the most efficient way possible.
Thank you, Duncan. The next one's for Abhishek. What are the features that customers should look for in their BMS or EMS automation and control systems?
So whenever system integrators are selecting any control equipment, they should be well aware of whether the system is open, interoperable, or not. This can help you in integrating those components with wide variety of architecture. So this is the first thing to look for. And whenever you are selecting any OEM, you need to ensure that they have a future plan. What is the future roadmap of their offers, so that over a period of time you should not get out of the industry. So these are the few things which partners should look for whenever they are selecting these components.
Thanks, Abhishek. We have a really cool question here, probably for Duncan, and I'll ask a follow-up for Abhishek as well. How do we achieve that application level redundancy for BMS and EMS while we already have hardware redundancy provided? Duncan?
I think in principle, the two should go hand in hand, Jay. If you have solid hardware redundancy, whether that be HA or full fault tolerance, in theory, your applications should be protected in their own right, because in an HA or a high availability clustered solution, your applications would fail over and start on a secondary or tertiary hardware server within that configuration. In a fault tolerant solution, that failover is automatic. So again, there's no interference. There's no reason why your application should to fail in that environment. As long as you can keep the resource running, from a hardware perspective, there's no reason why the application shouldn't go down. I think it comes down also to the fundamental difference between high availability and fault tolerance. High availability, as you might be aware, is a fail and recover process. The system has to recognize a failure and recover somewhere else. Unfortunately, there is a finite amount of downtime during that process, that restart time, that reboot. We're all familiar with how long it takes to boot Windows on our laptops in the mornings, for example. That is downtime, and that is application downtime, and it can't be avoided in that HA environment. In FT, that's a different situation, because we're doing the same thing at the same time on two mirrored servers, which means there is no downtime. When we fail over in a fault-tolerant environment, there is no restart, there is no reboot. So in that respect, FT is the way to go if you want that resilience within your application.
And if I may elaborate on that, Jay, if you're looking for specifically just application level redundancy, there are also other tools that we can utilize in order to monitor the application and trigger hardware failovers, for example. So you can either do something like that. You can utilize some of the, depending on your operating system monitoring tools that would monitor your application. Or the third thing is you can also do both. You can do hardware redundancy and software redundancy if necessary for some of your applications, depending on what your failure mode is that you're protecting from.
Thank you. I guess the bottom line there is it's really about downtime prevention as opposed to downtime management.
That's right.
Exactly.
Again, for Duncan, are there any kind of security and privacy considerations when implementing edge computing platforms in BMS?
I wouldn't have said there's anything very specific over and above your normal good practices, shall we say. The nice thing about an edge deployment, as I mentioned very briefly during the presentation in the webinar there, was you have that flexibility to deploy whichever tools you feel are appropriate for your protection, whether that be physical protection in terms of isolated systems and firewalling via switches and the network, or whether it be a third-party cyber package to deploy alongside your applications to make sure that you have the maximum protection available.
Thanks. We still have a few minutes, so please continue to send in your questions. This one's again maybe for Abhishek. Abhishek, how can edge computing platforms be used to optimize energy consumption and like reduce cost in BMS?
Jay, can you repeat the question?
How can edge computing platforms be used to optimize like energy consumption and reduce cost in building management solutions?
Okay, if I understood your question correctly, edge computing platform can be a great source of information to increase the operational efficiency. So how you can do that? In case in a building you have power meters, you can take the information on the edge layer about the energy consumption of different devices, and then you can do an analysis which can help you to understand how you can increase the efficiency of your operation, efficiency of your building after getting the due analysis from those information which you get on your dashboard.
Anything to add, Duncan or Rudy?
The only thing I would say is that invariably, and going back to what Abhishek said previously, I mean, if you look at a typical siloed solution, you have lots and lots of compute resource. That in itself has an energy footprint. With an edge deployment, you can typically remove a large proportion of that. So that has to have a positive impact on your energy consumption, just from a server deployment perspective, I would suggest.
Right.
The other thing I would add, Jay, and where my mind goes with that question is the connection of those systems, right? You might have an energy monitoring system that can address that you have an inefficiency, but if it takes the action of an operator to go into that system, identify it, and then go into a separate siloed system in order to correct it, then you might not be able to correct that. But when you begin to converge this, and really these are the benefits of Industry 4.0, right? Connecting these multiple platforms, you can streamline that process and make sure that you're always implementing the actions that are associated with the insights that you find to be valuable.
Right.
Yes, okay.
No, go ahead,
Yeah.
Abhishek, please.
So, Rudy, I completely agree with you. This is the main benefit of edge computing platform, to get all the data from different sources, different services on a single platform to make meaningful insight out of it.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. So which brings me to maybe as a follow-up question. So in a lot of factories, manufacturing and facilities, there's the manufacturing part where you do your automation control systems, and then there's the BMS part. Maybe a question for you guys is how does edge computing help kind of merge or integrate both the BMS of a typical factory floor and facility and the actual automation of the factory itself? Maybe Duncan, you can start.
Yeah, from my perspective, I would say it's that almost comes back to that return on investment piece I referred to earlier. With a good edge-based platform that's been designed to cover all the applications available, you can consolidate all that into a single platform. That's efficient in its own right. So despite the fact that you've got fairly disparate software solutions, if we consider it, you've got HMI, SCADA, you may have BMS and a security application. They're quite different applications, but the good thing about the kind of deployment we're looking at the edge is the ability to pull all that together in a single virtualized environment.
Right, thank you. Maybe one last question, and then we can wrap up. Are there any future developments in BMS Abhishek, and how will they impact the industry?
You can see there is an energy crisis going on in Europe, and there are a lot of modernization projects going on across the countries, across the continents. Okay, and there is a research which says that 50% of the building which exists today are going to be used in 2050. So, in order to fulfill the requirement of all these building and the new building, there is a lot of development which is happening in the BMS forefront. Okay, so from connected architecture, we are moving to a cloud architecture now. Okay, so the building owner, the building tenant, they want to have each and every information related to their sustainability and decarbonization goal. So in future, you can see the trend of BMS on cloud, IoT on cloud. So there is a lot of development which is happening, but still the current BMS platform that we have, it is going to be for 10, 15 years for sure. And then based on the industry trend and requirement, new application will be developed and can be used by our system integrator community.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Duncan. And back to you, Rudy.
Thank you, Jay. So this concludes our session for today. Here are some links where you can get some more information about the solutions we discussed today, as well as our contact information should you have any further information or requests that you'd like to discuss with any of us. And I'd like to thank you all for joining, for your time and attention today.
Thanks, guys. And my colleague, Karina, will put up my final slides for me, please. Take down the final Stratus one. On behalf of CSIA, I would like to thank our speakers for this informative discussion, and I would also like to thank Stratus for sponsoring this event. And of course, thank you for attending. Be sure to bookmark the CSIA events calendar so you don't miss any upcoming events. And that's a wrap. Once again, thanks for joining and have a great day.